We're going to turn now to that incredible real-life Cinderella story we've been telling you about. Sarah Culberson grew up in a loving home with her adoptive parents, but she always wondered about her birth parents, and what she discovered was more than a dream come true. Adopted 2 days after her first birthday, Sarah Culberson grew up the youngest daughter in a close-knit family from Morgantown, West Virginia. She was surrounded by love in her home, but always wondered about her roots. Searching to unlock the secrets of her past, finally at age 22, Sarah began the search for her birth parents, quickly learning that her mom had died a dozen years earlier from cancer. Sarah was crushed. But then, a few years later, a private investigator helped her locate her birth father, and an unbelievable surprise. Sarah was a princess. Her father, a ruling member of the Mindi tribe in Sierra Leone, was living in Africa. By birthright, that meant Sarah was royalty, who could one day be known as a paramount chief in a country she'd never even seen. Sarah's father invited her to Africa to meet her family, where the entire Boompe community came out to welcome their princess. A joyful celebration full of love. A happy homecoming for the American girl who never knew, by searching for her birth parents, she'd truly find herself. Look at the joy in joining us now in her first TV appearance. The princess herself, Sarah Culberson. What do I refer to as your...
Sarah.
No, Sarah? Just want to make sure. Want to have the right protocol. It is so good to meet you finally. This happened a couple of years ago, and you're just now publicly talking about it. Did it take a while to kind of let it sink in for yourself?
Yeah, it did. It took a couple years to kind of deal with finding my father and having two dads and the most amazing family, and going to Africa and being welcomed by so many people, and just dealing with all of that. It was really amazing.
Because first you found out that your birth mother had passed away, and then you still went in search for your father, and you found him. And what was it like? We saw some of the video when you returned there. How did they receive you?
They were amazing. There were about 200 to 300 people there to welcome me in this ceremony, singing, dancing, and I was like, what did I do to deserve this? I'm just Sarah from West Virginia. That's how I grew up, and everyone was so loving and so generous, and it was amazing.
You had to learn the language, the culture, different customs. Are you learning more and more?
Yeah, I know the greeting to say hello. It starts Boa Bisie Kawiena, Kawigoma Bisiewe. So I know a little Minde, and I'm learning more.
And how about the fact that you are a princess and in line? Do you have to learn certain protocol and other things?
I think as a princess there's just a responsibility to take on, which is really what I've really wanted to do in rebuilding my father's school in Africa, and starting a nonprofit organization to rebuild the school. So the title princess for me means responsibility, and that's what I'm doing, just taking that on.
And you are taking it on, and they didn't ask you for any help. They didn't want you for any more. They just accepted you and were very excited for who you are. So talk a little bit about what was it that when you came back you knew that you had to help?
Well, when I was there, what I started to see, I mean, it was all exciting at the beginning and beautiful. And then I was there, I started to see people with their hands cut off, with missing arms from the Civil War that went on there for 11 years. And I just thought, you know what? What can I do to help? I've come here for a reason. I've come all this way and found my father, and I'm supposed to do something. So I worked with my friend John Worley, my acting teacher, who went with me, and we came back and we said, okay, let's start a nonprofit organization. I said, I don't know how to do that,
Sure.
But we did, and it's been amazing, and we're rebuilding the school.
And equally amazing, your adoptive parents, who have been just so accepting, and they never... Because sometimes I feel like adopted parents were like, well, why do you want to find your birth parents? Where are your parents? Did they ever make you feel that way?
No, they're like angels. They said, you know what? We support you in whatever you want to do, and this is an amazing journey, so we'll take it with you. So. And
they were even helping you with the foundation work?
My mom's on the board, and my acting teacher in West Virginia, we're setting up actually a fundraiser in November to do in West Virginia. And my dad, that I grew up with, is going with me this December to Africa to meet my biological father.
Wow.
So that is a dream come true for me. Yeah.
And you said there's a lot of similarities between your two dads.
Yeah. Well, they both kind of have this beard thing, and they're both kind of losing their hair. Sorry, dads.
I appreciate that. You could have gone without that.
And they're both loving, and they're both educators. My father's a neuroanatomist in the medical school at West Virginia University, and my dad in Africa is a headmaster of a school. So everyone's a teacher. I'm a teacher.
Education. Yeah, salsa I hear is your thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a dance teacher, and I love salsa.
So Sarah, what do you say to a young person who's watching, who may be adopted, and they want to go on a search? Do they have to learn more about themselves first before?
I say be comfortable in who you are and don't expect anything, because I had no expectations. I didn't even know if I'd get a phone call return. I just had to say, you know what? If he calls, great. If he doesn't, I have to be okay with it. But I don't want to be 60, 70 years old going, gosh, I wish I'd found out. And so you just have to let it all go and take a risk. Yeah. And you know what? Miracles show up out of that. I mean, that's what I found out.
You live and prove.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy for you. We all are. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
With us. We really do appreciate it, especially about taking risks. It's so important.
Thank you.
Sarah is working to rebuild the school in the village where her family is from, and you can find out how you can help at our website at abcnews.com.